Picture this: a birthday party. Bright balloons, a sugar-high cluster of kids chasing each other across the backyard, a plate of cupcakes on the table. Your child is standing next to your leg. You already walked them over once. You already told them to go join in. They came back. And now they are watching the game happen 10 feet away. Quiet, still, and you feel that small, specific ache in your chest because you already know what the other parents are going to say to you in the pickup line next week. He's shy. She'll grow out of it. Don't worry about it. And you smile and nod, and some quiet part of you wonders if that's actually true. Your child is not broken. You are not failing. But the reason your child freezes at the edge of social situations is almost never the reason parents assume. It is not a personality flaw. It is not bad luck. It is the quiet result of 3 ordinary parenting patterns, all of them loving, all of them praised. All of them things you have almost certainly done this week. The playground. Your child is standing at the edge of a group of kids kicking a ball around. They want to play. You can see it on their face. They take 1 step forward. Then they hesitate. Then they look back at you. And you, because you love them, and because watching them struggle is almost unbearable, walk over and say it for them. Can my daughter play with you? Of course she can. Problem solved. Your child runs into the game and you exhale. Nothing about that moment felt wrong, but your child's nervous system recorded something you did not intend to teach. I cannot do this alone. I need someone to translate me into the social world. Every time the pattern repeats, that lesson deepens. Kenneth Rubin at the University of Maryland has spent 4 decades studying peer relationships in children. His research consistently shows that parental over-control in social situations, stepping in, solving, rescuing, predicts later social withdrawal and peer rejection. Social competence is built through supervised practice with manageable failure. Remove the failure, and you remove the practice. The cultural trap is that we have been taught to equate good parenting with advocacy. A parent who lets their child struggle looks, in the pickup line, like a parent who isn't paying attention. So you step in. You get praised for being attentive. The consequence shows up in adulthood. The person who waits to be included instead of initiating. The person who always had someone making the first move. Until one day, they didn't. What to do instead is smaller than you think. Stay close, but do not translate. Let the 3-second pause happen. It will feel like an eternity to you. It is not an eternity to your child. If they turn to you and ask what to say, whisper the sentence and let them deliver it themselves. The words came from you. The voice has to come from them. Your child is furious because their younger brother took the red crayon. Their face is red. Their hands are shaking. And because you are a reasonable parent with a reasonable goal, you say the reasonable thing. Don't snatch. Say please. Interaction redirected, crisis diffused. There is nothing wrong with that moment. But if that is the dominant language in your home, if your child hears do this, don't do that, be good, behave, far more often than they hear anything about what is happening inside them, their nervous system records something very specific. What I feel is not interesting. What I do is interesting. Behavior is the thing that matters. The interior life is not. Elizabeth Mines at Durham University developed the concept of mind-mindedness, the parent's habit of treating their child as a mental agent with an inner world, not as a creature of behaviors to be managed. And a broad meta-analytic literature, including work by Ted Ruffman and by Rory Devine and Claire Hughes, has found that children whose parents use mental state language in everyday conversation, think, feel, want, remember, worry, hope, develop theory of mind faster and more robustly than children whose parents primarily use behavioral language. Theory of mind is the ability to understand that other people have different thoughts, feelings, and intentions from your own. It is the foundation of social fluency. Without it, a child cannot read the room. The cultural trap is generational. A generation of parents was raised on don't cry, be good, behave. That language feels like parenting. Mental state language can feel uncomfortable, self-indulgent. The consequence is a child who enters social situations without the internal vocabulary to name what they or anyone else is experiencing. What looks like awkwardness is often a language deficit no one thought to provide. The shift is one sentence a day. Replace a behavior sentence with a mental state sentence. You look frustrated. I think he's sad right now. She probably wanted a turn too. That is all. The car ride home, the waiting room, the 20 minutes between setting down the grocery bags and getting dinner on the table. Your child is fussing, bored, climbing the furniture, asking the same question for the 4th time, and you hand them the screen. The fussing stops. The peace is immediate and total. And honestly, you needed the peace. There is nothing shameful about that. But the hidden lesson, absorbed one waiting room at a time, is this. Discomfort does not have to be tolerated. Boredom is a problem to eliminate. Attention is something I consume, not something I give. A 2019 study in JAMA Pediatrics led by Sherry Madigan followed thousands of children and found that higher screen time at ages 24 and 36 months predicted measurably poorer performance on developmental screening measures at subsequent ages, including communication and social domains. And the Harvard Center on the Developing Child's research on serve and return has established that social competence is built through conversational turns between a child and a present adult. Every minute filled by a screen is a minute of serve and return not happening. The cultural trap is total immersion. Every other parent is doing it. The waiting room is full of screens. The devices themselves were designed to be impossible for adults to put down, let alone 4-year-olds. A quiet child in public reads to the culture as a well-parented child. The consequence is a child whose nervous system never built tolerance for the small boredoms that social interaction requires. A child who has not practiced the thousands of small conversational turns that build fluency. The shift is not the whole day. One moment a day where the silence is left alone. A car ride, a waiting room, the 20 minutes before dinner, filled with you, with them, with their own slow thoughts instead of a screen. None of these 3 patterns is what parents think of when they worry about a socially awkward child. None involves shouting or neglect or anything the culture would recognize as bad parenting. They are loving, ordinary, and, in many circles, praised. But they are also the quiet architecture of a child who does not know how to walk into a room. Social fluency is not a trait your child was born with or without. It is a skill. And the scaffolding for it is built in the small moments almost no parent ever flags as important. Don't translate for them. Use feeling words. Leave one moment a day unfilled. You do not need to be a perfect parent. You need to be a present one. Go back to the birthday party. Your child at the edge of the room. Not broken, not behind, just waiting for the practice they have not yet had. If this gave you something, share it with another parent. Tell me in the comments which of the 3 you recognized in yourself. The child who learns that the room is safe is the child who walks into it.